Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 18 of the MGM MarketAbilities podcast. Learn, develop,
And
launch.
Oh, I thought that said lunch.
Lunch
No,
is
we're,
good too.
we're way past lunch. It's like 5 o'clock.
Yeah, we're doing this a little late today.
Yeah. Sorry about that. That is my fault. What are we talking about today, Rob?
We're going to talk about storytelling, the importance of storytelling in marketing and really any kind of production medium, because that's the whole point, is to tell a story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, especially in video marketing.
Yes.
Or just videos in general, right? Because it's like most of the stuff we watch, they're telling a story.
Yeah.
Right? If it's a TV show or a movie or whatever.
Yeah, and when you can do it in a commercial in a 30-second format, that really makes it like, yeah, you know you're a good storyteller, especially if you can tell a story without any dialogue.
Yeah.
Those are the best kinds of stories.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when nothing is being said, there's just background music, and there's the picture is actually doing all the storytelling, and you're almost actually creating the story in your head.
Right. Yeah, because it's all subjective, because it's however you interpret the whole thing. Like we just we're working on a music video right now, where it has whenever we wrote it, we had a story in mind, but as you watch it, you are going to be able to determine how you feel about it, and you're going to, based on your subjective view, determine what the story means to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all about how people empathize with like visual mediums and, you know, images and stuff. Like without having to use words, you can make somebody feel something, and I think some people lose that in the process of producing something.
Yeah.
And if you really want your 30-second commercial or your 3-minute long music video to be consumed in a positive way, you need to remember that you're trying to make somebody empathize with it in some way. Whether it's not the way you intended or not, doesn't matter, as long as people grab onto that and feel something.
Right. Yeah, it's a way to evoke emotion.
Yeah.
I almost said invoke emotion. I don't know what that would mean.
Yeah. I was actually about to bring that up. Is invoking emotion is what actually will sell a lot of things.
Right.
And whether you're just like you're selling a product or a story, it doesn't matter like what it is. It's like if you can get someone to feel something through that video,
They're going to remember it.
Yeah, they're going to remember it.
And
They're
it's
going to
gonna-
feel that.
Yeah, and they're more likely to either possibly purchase your product or service or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
Especially
just
if it's-
remember you in general.
Especially if it's one of those high-flying emotions like excitement or happiness or joy, kind of like you see a lot of really comedic commercials that are trying to get you to laugh, and then when you laugh, you think about it, and then maybe the next time you laugh, you're like, you know what was really funny? That Doritos commercial in the Super Bowl, that was really funny. And then you're like, you know what would be great right now? Some Cool Ranch Doritos. And then they make some bucks off of you, and that's why it works.
Hey, Doritos, can we get a sponsor?
Yeah, Doritos. I really like all the flamin' hot stuff you're doing. Just keep doing that. And also, let me talk about it publicly and pay me.
And pay me.
That's the whole point of marketing.
No, but yeah, it's funny that you brought up the Super Bowl. I was literally thinking that same exact thing whenever we were just talking about that. Is like whenever you said funny, right? Is because is like, you know, that's why some people, like, I'm not a big football fan.
Me either. I watched just for the commercials.
Yeah, exactly. The commercials in the halftime show is why I even turn on the Super Bowl.
I like to think of it more as the marketing Olympics to see, you know,
actually
which
true.
The
marketing
best of the
firms
best. Yeah.
have like really pulled it through this year.
Yeah, I actually claim it on my taxes because it's research.
Studying.
Yeah, it's research for you know, growing media. Which, by the way, we do great storytelling marketing videos.
Yeah.
You
Check
should
out
hire us.
our productions, which we just did a music video that is nominated for Video of the Year. That makes me incredibly excited, as well as everybody else. It's called Walk Hard by Diamonds and Whiskey. We told an incredible story in that. It was the lead singer's story of how she grew up and how she was raised to be independent and that she could do anything that a guy could do. That story tells a story. The music video tells her story.
Yeah.
Of the unwanted male attention that she got as she was growing up, as well as her grandfather and grandmother teaching her to be strong and bold and independent.
Yeah, and when we got that concept from her, we sat down and we had to come up with kind of like this treatment and this storyboard of how do we actually tell this in, you know, video form? How do we go from point A to point B? And that's when we really had to figure out how a story of someone growing up from being a child to an adult is told in a 3-minute time period. And so we had to sit down and kind of storyboard and create these scenarios that could be understandable but fit into tiny chunks.
Right.
And so while the audience is watching, they kind of understand, oh, this character is growing up. And that was a big process in making that video.
Right. And whenever we initially came up with the idea, and then the idea was going to be her growing up and receiving a bunch of unwanted male attention, and her like basically pushing it off. And then Brandon came up with the incredible idea to include them building a car while she's growing up, and that would symbolize her grandfather like teaching her or helping her build herself up and restore yourself and keep yourself maintained. Is a little side-by-side comparison of her growing up as well as building the car. And then in the end, she disses you with a little spin move.
Yeah. I was a paid actor in this.
and then she gets in the car that she has been maintaining, built, and has been maintaining throughout the whole entire video, which through her life, and she drives away in it to symbolize her independence and the fact that she can like support herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really see the car visualizing sort of how she's learned how to take care of herself.
Right.
And I really liked the idea of the car, and we ran into some problems as like, how do we execute the car? And I remember we went back so many times on that. It's like, well, we can't really produce her building a car. So like we came
that was
to
outside
the idea,
the budget.
Yeah, we came to the idea of getting this nice car. And so, you know, what do people do with nice cars? They maintain them, they clean them, they work on them. So we fit that into the visual medium, and you see her learn and grow, and that car is there and it's pristine all of the time because she is really taking care of herself. She's mentally in charge.
Right.
And that car symbolizes someone who has got their life together.
Right. And it also symbolizes because the way her verbiage was essentially when she told us about it initially was that she received all this unwanted male attention, and it was she was the object of men's desire is what she said. And that we use the car for that as well, as the cars are dudes like falling over cars. They're just like, I love this car. It's amazing. It's beautiful. I've heard sexy before, which is weird to call a car sexy. But so that symbolized that as well. And then at the end, that was your character. You were like, look at this car.
I was like infatuated with the car.
Right. And then you saw her.
Yeah.
And it kind of linked those two together. And then she was like, I'm good.
Yep. I got totally dissed. It's great. I've been probably laying over clips, just small clips of what they've been talking about. But if you want to, please go check out that video. It would be on Diamonds and Whiskey's YouTube page, correct?
Right. Yep.
So I will link that in the description. You guys should please go check it out. It is incredible, and please like them because they are incredible country, kind of a heavy rock band,
right.
And they're killing it right now. We are you're almost done editing the last music video.
Yeah, so we shot another music video for them just recently. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago, I think, where we went to North Carolina. We talked about the behind the scenes that we shot and stuff.
Yep.
So we are currently editing that music video right now. And it is requiring a lot of visual effects because there's a portion of it where there's a door that it's open, and when the door is outside in the middle of nowhere. It's in the middle of a field. And on one side of the door it's daylight, on the other side it's nighttime. So as people walk through the door, it has to be nighttime on the other side, and that has to be done through visual effects. So it's taking some time to get all that stuff done.
Yeah.
But the way we've shot it, lit it, and color graded it, it looks like a fairy tale. And that was exactly what we were going for. Jennifer, the lead singer of Diamonds and Whiskey, she said that she wanted the music video to look eerie but beautiful. And I think we nailed that.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're writing for something that kind of has a fantastical element, you have to include in your mind space when you're working on that there has to be some way of accomplishing that. And so Rob is doing all of these visual effects. And, if we didn't have that in our toolkit, that would be so complicated to work on. So when you're writing something like this, you have to understand your production abilities.
Right. Yeah. So you're not going to go build a house if you don't know how to use a hammer. So it's like that. It's like there are certain things you wouldn't be able to put into your house. Like if you don't know how to build a deck, you can't include a deck in your house architecture unless you're going to hire somebody who knows how to do that. So in this instance, we would not have been able to write a fantastical of a video as we did without the ability to do visual effects and things like that.
Yeah. So I think scope is really important when you're writing something. And if you have someone like Rob who can do amazing visual effects, that is something you always need to keep in mind when you're making something is like, can I include that fantasy element in? Can I make something, write something in that wouldn't be achievable on set, because I have someone like Rob who can produce that post-production. But if you don't have that, you have to keep in mind when you're writing something what your limitations are, and that's really important not to overshoot. Because I think what was an important process of Walk Hard and also Hero was making sure we didn't overstretch or overextend ourselves to try and write something we couldn't produce.
Right. And what's crazy about Walk Hard is we shot that in 4 different locations in one day. That was a 13-hour shoot.
It's a crazy day.
But going back to what you were saying, so talking about working within your scope, you also have to consider your budget when you're writing the story too. So with, I think both of these videos, we went above and beyond the budget with some of the stuff that we're wanting to do. But just the storytelling aspect of it, it's just incredible to me. Like I can't explain how excited I am to be a part of telling a story through music videos. Like, cause that has been my passion. I love music. I love storytelling. And then just to be able to do it in music, I'm in the happiest place I could ever be.
Yeah, absolutely. So if there's anybody out there listening that, you know a musician or you are a musician, please reach out to us to do a music video. We will blow your mind, and we will knock off all of your wishes.
Oh, and your socks.
Yeah.
I thought that's where you were going.
What if it's summertime? They're wearing sandals, right?
Knock your sandals off?
No,
yeah,
just
it's a little easier.
Wishes. Checklist. Okay, anyways.
We'll ruin your day.
Yeah.
And make you sad.
So I kind of want to, music videos are awesome. And, we've seen so many that really cool stories to tell. But what I want to point out is, those 30-second commercials, like some of those, I want to point out car commercials.
Okay.
Because you'll be watching a car commercial, but you won't know it's a car commercial until the end, because they're just telling this story about a happy family, and then all of a sudden it's like a minivan, and you're like, what? Oh, that was a car commercial?
I've started seeing more and more of those. Like, you got this nice happy family, and then they are walking outside, and it's like, this could all be gone if you don't have a Toyota.
Yeah.
Toyotas have safety insurance and great airbags, and your family could disappear if you don't buy a Toyota.
But to be fair though, the story, it caught my attention, right? And so I was like, oh, okay, so Toyota, what are you doing? Sponsoring us? Maybe. Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, give us a free car. No.
Yeah, I love that.
No, 9 free cars.
Right.
We each need one. We can't be all driving around different brands of cars.
I was hoping they'd just get us one big van, and we all just drive around. like someone, whoever gets the van that night has to pick everyone back up and come back to them.
Like from The Office, you just drive and pick them up early in the morning.
Yeah,
and then I'll bring you some cream and sugar.
Yep, it'd be great.
But I think it's really cool. There's a lot more storytelling in commercials these days, and what it does is it makes you think about the product in more ways than just one. Mm-hmm. And you may think, oh, I don't know what this could do for me, but if the producer and the team behind a commercial think outside of the box, you could really get new people involved in a product that never would have wanted to.
Right.
Yeah. And so whenever we're shooting a commercial for a bank, okay, we're going to try
we have done.
Yeah. We're going to try to incorporate into that commercial that this bank is safe. And you can trust them. You know, you want to invoke those emotions and those types of thoughts into the viewer,
right?
So that they come to that bank, they know that they can trust it. Or we do marketing for colleges, right? We do marketing videos for them, and we want to kind of hype it up, right? We want to make it hey, this is a fun place to be. This is where you can start your future. This is where your career begins,
right? Or it's close to home and it's affordable and. They have small classes where you're going to get a lot of attention. Depends on, whatever your needs are. We're going to tell all the stories to match those, whatever the word is that I'm looking for.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It's are you trying to, invoke trust? Are you trying to invoke passion?
Confidence.
Confidence, career. It's that's kind of the goal. And people love stories. I love Star Wars. So much because the storyline is so good. Because even if you go back and watch some of the older ones, right? The graphics aren't good, the sounds are kind of off, and things are weird. But the story though is so good, and I will probably rewatch Star Wars for the rest of my life because of how good the storyline is.
But how did they do that? And what I would like to point out is, you said graphics weren't great in those old movies, but what they did right is they created characters that you would be invested in, and you can do that in any length or form of media, you have to create something that the audience is going to be invested in. And like that family scenario I made fun of, like everybody's got a family and they couldn't imagine their family being gone. And that's a way to pull at somebody's emotional center or their heartstrings or whatever you want to call it.
Well, I mean, look at Breaking Bad, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
Like the story is like they were selling drugs, and the story was like a teacher who was like mild mannered, got cancer, and then he was like decided to start selling drugs.
Yeah.
But they could have been like just selling Skittles. Like it doesn't matter because the people and the stories and the character arcs are what made that whole show.
Yeah.
Like if you watch Walter from the beginning to the end,
Yeah. Completely different person.
Bryan Cranston,
Yeah.
incredible actor.
Yep.
He made one of the greatest like character arcs that I've ever seen
Oh
in a
gosh.
show.
Yeah.
Because he was like so like, oh my gosh, it's this the world's gonna end, and now at the end he's like, I'm the one who knocks.
Yeah, he went from being like the dad in Malcolm in the Middle to being like the coolest guy on TV.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
But it was all about how the whole combination of the storytelling, the writing, and the direction that he had for that character and his own ability to portray it, it led to this story that is told in a pretty succinct like 5 seasons, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
And
5
but
seasons.
it is so curated and designed to fit a purpose, and I think that's what everybody needs to remember when they're making a story for whatever it is. What purpose is
Right.
the story going to fulfill?
Yeah. 100%. Oh my gosh.
I have
Like you just kind of blew my mind. Like you're taking it like to like another level. I was like, wait, hold on.
Like it doesn't matter, like a commercial, like that bank commercial you thought of, like the
Yeah.
purpose is we want you to think this bank is safe,
Mm-hmm.
so you invest your money or you make a checking account. If you think it's safe, your friends will think it's safe, and so that's how you grow. Like as a business, is you make people invest their thoughts and their time into you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's good. Ooh.
and good storytelling can
Yeah.
help that.
Oh yeah.
And purpose.
And so if you want storytelling for your business
And purpose.
and purpose
And revenue.
in life, yes. Oh my gosh, storytelling videos will make you so much money. Like in the marketing aspect, so much money because again, we're invoking those emotions, and when people get emotional in a good way, obviously,
Right.
they buy.
You feel.
Yeah, you feel it. You're like, okay, yeah, I feel this. Like, I want to buy it. So if you guys need that, growing media marketing, it's the
Yes.
place.
Rob and I work on some stuff for this charity, and a lot of what I try to put into it personally is, what is the purpose or what is the goal for this charity? And it's to like help people. So you really want to feel like the video storytelling tells that story. Like these people are being helped, the people that are helping them love them, and that's so important, I think, for that charity, is for people to know that this is a good cause and it's actually helping people. And that's like the purpose I always keep in the back of my head when I'm making one of those videos. It's not like to get somebody rich or to, sell a product. It is literally to help people. And so I can't ever forget that's the purpose.
To better their lives, and in doing so, you're going to change the lives of generations to come. Basically, this is Marion Medical Mission that we're talking about, and they build sustainable wells in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa. Yeah. So basically, they teach the people there who live in the villages how to build and repair these wells, and they make it so that they can provide, like, they have all of them, as many of the materials as they can available to them. That's completely beside the point. I just wanted to make sure to get that out there. But so we are telling the story of how they've done this, how it affects all their lives, because it like I said, it doesn't only change the lives of the people who are there now. These wells can last for generations, and there are people there who are trained to repair them, and they can repair them. They don't have to go outside and spend thousands of dollars to bring in a repairman. They bring in one guy who lives in the village, and they pay him a chicken to repair the well.
That's incredible.
That's their payment system.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's important is a lot of people, I think, have this misconception that storytelling in media is like lies to get you to feel something. But what's more powerful than lies? Telling the truth.
Ooh.
So what we aim to do, especially with like that charity and anything we work on, is tell the truth, because there's some sincerity to that a lot of people appreciate. So like our goal with that charity is to let you know what's really going on. And I think that is so important to the storytelling of Marion Medical Mission, to make sure that I tell the truth.
Right.
Like, this is out there. I just want you to know about it.
Right. And I personally won't work on a project if we're not telling the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't do it. The only thing that I would do that we're not telling the truth is if it's a fictional story.
Well, yeah, that's
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's the only thing, and because I didn't want somebody to be coming up in the comments being like, "Well, what about fiction?" Like, listen, that's obviously not the truth, but everybody knows it's a made up story.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like 99%,
I'm not trying to get one over on you.
almost 100% of the time when you're marketing something, it's a real thing.
Right.
And you want to tell the truth, and you want that truth to be that this is amazing, this will change your life. And if you can't figure that out, you have to look deeper, and you have to really look for why people resonate with this, whatever product it is you're trying to sell, and find that truth, or maybe it's not going to work out.
Right. And that a lot of that is done, I think, through market research and like just being a human being. Like
Right.
what would attract me to this product or something. Like a lot of times if we work on a project and I don't have a necessary like need for it, because I'm a single guy. I don't need stuff for a family. I don't need I don't have a whole lot of stuff that I need. I don't like whatever. It's hard for me to get in that mindset. So then that's why I go and talk to you guys or other people that have families, and you do the market research to like learn about what is needed for that specific like product or service.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I think fiction is interesting because that does ride the line of like, so some marketing does happen through fiction. We brought up Doritos earlier. The really popular Doritos Super Bowl commercials are usually like some fantastical scenario, and that fictional marketing can kind of almost work really well because it's not directly advertising to you in the way that you expect. It is it's like right on the tip of my tongue. Not misdirection, but your expectations. It's like going against your expectations, and what that does to your brain is you remember it easier.
Right.
You're like, oh, the Doritos Samurai came out. That was so funny. I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to remember that 10 months down the road when you're in the chip aisle and you're looking at a bag of Doritos and you're like, how that Doritos Samurai, that was funny. I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point.
I just want to say that I think I've learned in this podcast that Brandon wants some Doritos right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hungry.
He's feeling the burritos.
Yeah, we
Doritos.
Yeah. We definitely need some Doritos.
I think there's a reason why that one sticks in my mind. It's exceptionally well done.
They
storytelling.
always make like just fun ones. Like, didn't they have one where somebody was in they were able to time travel?
Yeah, I
in
think
a
I know what you're
cardboard
talking
box?
about. Yeah, like they built a cardboard box and they time traveled just to go get some Doritos.
Well, if we didn't want you guys to hire us for a storytelling marketing video, we at least got you guys hungry for Doritos.
Yeah, right.
So mission accomplished.
And you're probably gonna go buy a Toyota.
and pack it out with Doritos.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode. This was awesome, and I hope you guys gained some knowledge from it. And please check us out on Facebook and Instagram, growing.media, and our website is growingmediamarketing.com. And I think that's all.
That's it.
Cool. Thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.